We are going to continue our study of inequality, shading, and graphing. Okay, but now we're going to go backwards. Now we're going to write the systems of linear inequalities. Okay, and so there's a couple things that we have to think about. The first thing we have to do, okay, is get the equation of the line. Get the equation of the line that is the border of the shading. Okay, there's a couple things you can do. Maybe it's y equals mx plus b. Okay, maybe it is a horizontal. And if it's a horizontal line, then it's just going to be ahoy. It's going to be y equals just one letter. And it might be a vertical line. And a vertical line, that would be a vux. It's just going to be an x equals. Okay, so you're going to look at the edge of the border of the shaded region, and you're going to get the equation of the line. Okay, and we'll even use an equal sign at this point. Okay, step 2. Okay, look at the line carefully. Look at the line. Okay, if the line is dashed, use either the greater than or the less than sign if it's dashed. And if the line is solid, then we're going to use greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. So then we're going to decide if it's a solid line or a dashed line, and we'll pick the correct inequality symbol. Okay, step 3, okay, look for the shading. If the shaded region is greater, okay, use the greater than or the greater than or equal to symbol. But if the shaded region, if the shading is going down or less, if it's less, then we're going to use the less than sign or the less than or equal to sign, depending on the way that it's shaded, okay? And then the last thing to do is put it all together. Put it all together, okay? So then you're going to have y is less than 2x plus 5, okay? Put all your ideas together. Okay, let's take a look at this one right here. If you're shaded above and below, okay, so that would mean if you are above, it's going to say y is greater or y is greater than or equal to. That's how it gets shaded above. Now, what if it's shaded below? Then you'd say y's are less or y's are less than or equal to. Okay, and then don't forget about the solid versus dashed. So a solid line would say y is greater than or equal to, y is less than or equal to. You want to equal the line and be solid. Dotted lines are just going to have the greater than or the less than signs. Okay, so take a look at the shaded region. The first thing I'm going to do is just try to get the equation of this line right here in green. Oops, green. Okay. And I notice that the y-intercept is -4. So the b is -4. And let's see if we can find another point. Let's see. It seems like maybe this right here is another point. So it seems like 1, 2, 3, 4, up 4 over 1. 1, 2, 3, up 4 over 1. Okay, so it seems like the slope is up 4 over 1, or just a 4. Okay, so now I'm going to look, okay, and since it was a dashed line, I am not going to use the equal. It was a dashed line. And if I look at the y-intercept, all of the shading went down. Okay, the shading went down, which means I'm going to say the less than sign. The less than sign. I want the less than sign, and I want it dashed. So that means the symbol that I'm going to use is just the less than sign and not the equal to. Okay? What some people like to do first is write the equation of the line. So they'll write y equals mx, which is 4x minus 4, and then they think about the inequality sign, and then they write their official answer. They say y's are less than 4x minus 4. If you'd like to take that extra step and write the equation and then decide the dash and the shading, you could do it in 2 steps. Some people like to just leave the symbol alone and then pop in the correct one after they think. Okay. All right. Now, how do you do it when there's systems? Okay. So we got to look at 2 different equations here. Oh, they got really big. Okay. So the first line I see is a diagonal line. Okay. So it seems like there's a solid diagonal line right here, and then it seems like there's a horizontal solid line right here. Okay, I'm going to do the diagonal line first. Okay, that's a y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. So let's figure out the b. It touches the y-axis at 1. Okay, so I know what that is. And now I got to figure out the m. So let's see if we can find another nice point. Up 2 over 1. That looks good. Up 2 over 1. Yeah, I think that is the slope, up 2 over 1. So 2x plus 1. Okay, but I can't put that on the line for the inequality. Okay, that's the equation. I notice that it is solid. I notice that's solid. And when I look at this line, you can even put like a pencil there, it looks like they shaded above the line, up the y-axis. Okay, so they shaded greater. When it's solid and greater, we're going to use the greater than or equal to symbol. So I'm ready for my first inequality. It's going to be y is greater than or equal to 2x plus 1. Okay, but that would have been if the entire area was shaded, and this one has another border. Okay, so now we've got another line. So let's take a look at this line right here, which they also used, okay, to get this shaded region. And this is a horizontal line. Horizontal lines are hoys. So this is just going to be a y equals line. And it's crossing at 1, 2, 3. Y equals 3. Okay, but now I'm noticing a solid. And I think that they shaded above the line. So if this is the line and they went up, that would be greater. So what kind of symbol should we use for solid and greater? And that would be the greater than or equal to symbol. So let's put this symbol into the equation to make an inequality. Y is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, there were 2 borders, 2 equations. Let's go take a look at number 2 here. Okay, I notice here in this shaded region, it looks like there's a couple of borders. Okay, I'm just going to highlight them. So here's a line, and it looks like they shaded left. Okay, and then there's another border right here. Here's a line, here's a horizontal, and then it looks like they shaded down. Okay, so I'm going to do the vertical line first. Vertical lines are vux, which means it's going to be x equals, let's figure out the number, 1, 2, x equals 2. Okay, now I have to look at the line. Is it solid or dashed? It's solid. Okay, if you're not sure, you could always ask me on a test, is this solid? And I'll say solid or not, but I'm not going to tell you what symbol to use. And then they shaded left. Left means less than. So how do I say less than and solid? That would be less than or equal to. So replace the equation, the equal sign, with the inequality sign. So we've got x is less than or equal to 2. Okay, but we also have to do the green line, which made another border. Okay, this line right here, this is a horizontal line. Horizontal means hoy. which means it's y equals, let's go find the number. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, y equals 4. That's the equation of the line. But now we have to talk about the shading. The line itself was solid, and they shaded down, which means less than. What kind of symbol should we use for solid less than? That's going to be the less than or equal to symbol. Let's replace the equal sign with that symbol. Y is less than or equal to 4. Okay? So if you know how to write the equation of a line, and then you look at the shading, and you look at the solid and dashiness of the line, you can do this. Okay? All right, let's take a look at this. I see the shaded region. The first equation that it looked like they graphed, okay, the first one is right here. Okay, here's the solid line. This one was solid. And this is a diagonal, y equals mx plus b. So let's see if I could figure out the b. 1, 2, here it is, -3. And then we have to figure out the slope. This does not look like the corner of a box right there. That is definitely not the corner of a box. Don't think that one is right there. I think this is a point right here on the y-axis. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, up 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 3 over 4. That would be 3/4 x. And then we said the y-intercept was -3. Okay, maybe what I'll do is draw some nice points for you on the test so you could see where the dots are, so that would help us find the slope easier. We said that the line was solid. And did they shade above the line or below the line? Okay, they shaded down, which means less than. All right, let's put it together. Solid, less than. That means less than or equal to. So we're going to replace the equal sign with the correct inequality sign. Y is less than or equal to 3/4 x minus 3. Okay, I do have to tell you guys, it doesn't matter which one you put first. If you went for this inequality, this equation first, that would be okay. Doesn't matter the order that they're in. Okay, now we have to do the second line, okay, which is right here. Okay, finally, it looks like we have a dashed line. Okay, but it is a diagonal, so it's going to be a y equals mx plus b. I could see the b value as a 1. It does not look like down 1 over 1. Does it look like down 1 over 2? That didn't work. No. Was it down 2 over 3? I think it was right there. Down 2 over 3. -2/3 x, and the y-intercept was +1. Okay, it was a dashed line. And does it look like they shaded above the line or below the line? Here's the shaded region. That shaded region is below the line. Okay, so that would be less than. So how are we going to do dashed less than? I know I have to use the less than sign. Does it get an equal sign? No, it doesn't. Okay, so our equation is y is less than -2/3 x plus 1. Okay. Let's keep going. Number 4. I'm going to do the solid one first, just because. Okay, so I've got a solid line right here. The y-intercept is right there at -2. And let's see if we can find another nice point for this one. Let's see, what is this point right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. It looks like it's rise 5 over 3. 5 over 3. But that's up 5 and left 3. This is a downhill line, so it needs to have a negative. Down 5 over 3. This is a downhill line. Okay. How about the y-intercept? Negative 2. Okay. This is a solid line. And which way did they shade? Okay, sometimes it helps if I really separate the graph, maybe like with a ruler. Did they shade above the line, going up the y-axis, or is the shaded region below the line? Okay, and it is below the line. See how it's under the line there? I know it's really high, but it is below the line. There's above the line and nothing shaded, so it is less than. It is less than. And how are we going to do solid less than? Less than or equal to. So our first inequality is y is less than or equal to negative 5/3 x minus 2. Okay. And then the next one that we have is this dashed line right here. Okay, the y-intercept is 2. And I'm going to use this other point here. It looks like down 1 over 3. Down 1 over 3. Okay, so the slope is negative 1/3. Y equals negative 1/3 x, and the y-intercept was plus 2. All right, this line is dashed, and it is greater than the line. Okay, so it is greater. How do you do greater and dashed? It's just a greater than sign. So we've got y is greater than negative 1/3 x plus 2. Okay. I'm going to stop the video right here. Okay, I want to make sure that you have all 4 of these examples done, and we will practice when I see you more. Thank you.